Hey everybody, Max Monty 1516 here, back again with another Countdown to Christmas review. Today we're going to be taking a look at all of the different versions of the wooden railway Rickety. So, here they all are. For a little bit of background information, Rickety is a pretty well-known character, and that's thanks to his wooden railway model. Before, basically, most people think Learning Curve based this particular model off of one of the Railway Series illustrations from Oliver the Western Engine. And there was a turquoise colored truck in that illustration. And just some people assume that Learning Curve went off of that and decided to make a turquoise colored truck in the wooden railway range. Personally, I don't know if that story is true, but either way, Rickety does exist here, and he is a really cool model, honestly. I like him a lot. I like the color, I like the face, I like troublesome trucks a lot, and Rickety is no exception to that. So anyway, starting with the face here, Rickety, he seems to be laughing at something. And then, of course, Rickety's just got the regular truck detail. He's got the, I think these are handrails here. He's got, like, the white detailing on the side. There's some wooden planks here, and, of course, he's colored in turquoise. And then, again, on the back here, just pretty much the same detail as the front, minus the face. And on the other side, it's the exact same, because, again, troublesome trucks are very simplistic detail-wise. But overall, I have to say, Rickety is still really cool. And of course, the reason he is called Rickety is because one of his wheels here has this interesting, like, shape on the bottom there. And that hits this little tab that is on the bottom of Rickety's top here. And basically, if you were to move the wheel like this, it would knock Rickety back and forth. And that's where he gets his name from, Rickety. And then you see Reagan, like, jiggling back and forth here. Rickety doesn't sit properly on the chassis, and that's intended. That's an intended design. And I do think, again, that is really cool. So I have two versions of the normal Rickety here. Unfortunately, this one is broken. Basically, the tab here on my childhood model of Rickety broke off, and now he just kind of spins freely like that. It's kind of funny, but still. I did get a new one pretty recently at a train show. But yeah, overall, I mean, Rickety is still really cool. I like the ballast load here. You can never have too many ballast trucks, I think. I think Rickety personally goes really well if you have a couple of those, like, ballast trucks from the Giggling Troublesome Trucks 2-pack, and then you put those with Rickety, you can get a really nice ballast train going. But, yeah, that is, like, the normal version of Rickety, and he came out in the year 2000, and he was only sold for a couple of years after that. He wasn't too popular, which kind of doesn't surprise me. Like, if you're going to sell a troublesome truck on its own, especially, like, if it's named or something, you got to make sure, like, people know who it is, because I don't think Rickety did too well, and that's why he, like, didn't sell for that often. Despite being sold for only 2 to 3 years, Rickety is still a very common item. I mean, you can go on eBay and, like, find him for 10, 15 bucks. And I think part of the reason of that is because he was also sold in 2 sets. You could have found him in the Sodor mining set or the battery-powered set from 2000 with James and Percy. But anyway, Rickety unfortunately met his demise in 2002 in the US and strangely lasted in the UK up until 2004. Now, speaking of sets, that is where we get to our next model of Rickety, and this is the orange Rickety. And you can only find this model in the Tidmouth Travel set, which was released from 2003 all the way up until 2005. And that was the only way to get Rickety in those years. So Rickety here, it's the exact same model, except just a changed color. I don't know why they decided to make Rickety orange now. It's very strange. It's a really weird choice to me. And this item was always such an anomaly to me. I remember seeing this, like, when I was a lot younger, and I was just so confused. And then years later, I finally got my hands on him. The orange Rickety has definitely proven to be quite a rare item nowadays. And the cheapest I usually see them go for is like 35 to 40, and I did get mine for about $35. So you can find them, but they really do not pop up on eBay all that often. But anyway, again, Rickety is pretty much the exact same here, like the exact same face, exact same ballast load, same details. Again, he's just the color orange now. Personally, I like the orange look. I think it's very nice. I don't think I like it as much as the teal, although this still is really cool. And of course, Rickety still has his signature rocking thing right here, as you can see right there. So again, I really can't say too much because, again, this is just a rarer version of Rickety in a different color. But right after the orange Rickety was discontinued in 2005, in 2006, we have Goldmine Rickety. And the Goldmine Rickety is actually the longest lasting version of Rickety, and this one as well is pretty common. So once again, Rickety is pretty much the same here, except for 2 major differences. First of all, now he is gray. And second of all, he's carrying gold. So Rickety is no longer a ballast truck. Looks like he's moved up in the world a bit. But again, you could find this Rickety in the Goldmine Mountain set, and that was sold for a very long time, actually. This version, of course, of Rickety was discontinued in 2012 alongside the Goldmine Mountain set, or the original version of it. So anyway, again, this Rickety, I can't say too much else about it. It's got the same detail and same face once again. Although I have to say, Rickety can pretty much rock any color. I mean, he looks good and great too. And I definitely think, like, if you wanted him to, he could fit, like, more with your other troublesome trucks if you don't want something more colorful on your layout, which I do understand. But yeah, Goldmine Rickety, very interesting model, and it's also the newest one in my collection. I just never really got around to getting him until I got him as an early Christmas gift. So, yeah, that is Goldmine Rickety. And all while Goldmine Rickety was still being sold, the last true version of Rickety, at least to me, is the Mr. Jolly's Chocolate Rickety. And this is definitely the most different of the four versions. So basically, this Rickety was only found in the Cookie Factory Cargo 5-pack, where he basically came with, you have Rickety here as the chocolate, and then he came with other trucks carrying other ingredients, such as flour, sugar, eggs, and butter, all to make cookies. It's a really gimmicky pack, I guess you could say. But Rickety is definitely the highlight of that. And I don't have, like, the actual other models from that pack. I just ended up getting this one secondhand. But Rickety is pretty cool here. He has a lot more wood detailing this time around. He looks a bit more worn out, I guess you could say. It almost looks like the wood is starting to rot on the side of him. I don't know if that's just me. I don't know if that's intended, but that's just kind of what I see from all, like, the darker green spots. Rickety, of course, also has the Mr. Jolly's Chocolate just plastered on the side of him like that. And it's on both sides as well. And he's got some slightly different detailing. If we take a look here on the side, you can see there, he's no longer got, like, the vertical and diagonal lines there. So those are now gone, and it's replaced with some black lines here and a couple rivets on the side. So again, Rickety's detailing has changed a bit. He is carrying chocolate now, but he's the same old truck with the same old design. So again, of course, all of them do have the same, like, little notch there. And yeah, that is it for Tropical Rickety. I mean, I'm really running out of things to say at this point because I'm really just talking about the same model except in just different colors. But again, it's cool, like, how much Rickety was sold. But unfortunately, this one only lasted for 2 years, being introduced in 2008 and discontinued shortly after in 2009. So finally, there is one last quote-unquote Rickety we're going to take a look at, but it's a bit more different than the others. So finally, we have 2013 Goldmine Rickety. Now, when the Goldmine Mountain set was originally discontinued in 2012, Mattel brought it back instantly, although with a couple of changes. It looked a little bit cheaper, you know, just Mattel Wooden Railway like that in general. But we did get a brand new Rickety with that, although this is really just a normal truck with Rickety's name plastered on the bottom. I don't know why it says Rickety, because they really just didn't have to do that, but still. Rickety has lost his classic face that we have seen 5 times in this video now. But unfortunately, this is just the same CGI truck face we see on every other Wooden Railway troublesome truck, like past 2013. And the gold has lost a bit of its shine here, as you can see there. Definitely a lot more vibrant on the original model, just like that. And then just, again, the detail is pretty much the same, although like there's some differences on the spacing. And it's all black now instead of a lighter version of gray. But that's pretty much it. Also, this, like, curved bit over here, it's much more rounded. And it's also plastic. It's just a plastic piece that is bolted on top of the chassis instead of an angled cut in the wood right there. I hope you can see that difference there. But yeah, it's much more sharp on the old models. And then, of course, now it's just like a more flattened curve. But yeah, that is pretty much it for Rickety. That's all I really have to say. This one is probably, like, my least favorite. I don't like this face. I'll be completely honest. I just don't like how the CGI trucks look in general. But yeah, that is still technically Rickety. As you can see there on the bottom, it tells us that is Rickety. But those are all 6 models of Rickety I have now. I did do a review on Rickety a couple of years ago now, although I only had 3 of them at the time. So now I finally have the complete Rickety collection. And I promise I have a life, guys, don't worry. But anyway, that's every model of Rickety reviewed. So thank you all for watching and have a great day. Max Monty 1516 signing out.